All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Many families will be sitting down to a big family dinner. Wouldn't it be so thankful? Wouldn't you be so thankful if your kids use good manners? Well, today we're going to teach you how to teach them to be more polite and well-bred.
Marjorie Sinclair is an author, world traveler, and she spent more than 25 years teaching etiquette for corporations, colleges, and children. Fortune magazine calls her the social graces guru. Good morning, Marjorie.
Good morning, Tiffany. Good
I'm so excited. You've got a demonstration on the table of manners. These are Molly's two kids. We got Maddie and JoJo. Joseph. Do you go by Joseph now? Maddie and Joseph, because you're old now. That's right. This is great. So they're going to demonstrate in a little bit, and congratulations to you because you're a new grandmother.
Thank you so much.
That's exciting. Right. Congrats.
So this is something you've been teaching for a long time, well-mannered children.
Yes, since my son was about 6 years old, about 30 years ago, and I went to George Watts and asked if they had any etiquette classes for children. Mr. Watts said, no, why don't you do it? And at the first graduation, some of the parents said, don't you have something like this for grown-ups? So it's evolved into corporations and colleges mostly, but I like working with children.
And I love your motto, which is what?
Which one?
Well, the one about a lot. Well, yeah, but one thing that the good business, good manners.
Good manners are good business.
Are good business. But I also like what you say that if people like you, life will be easier.
Life is so much easier.
And people like you if you have good manners.
Yes, and well-mannered children grow up with a lifelong advantage in job situations and personal relationships.
Do they? Say that one more time for people watching.
Well-mannered children grow up with a nice, background of
an advantage. You're advantage in life. Yes, advantage.
Yes, advantage in job situations and in personal relationships.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about your first tip, which is teach your expectations.
Yes, your families, parents have to make this known what you want at this time and place. And I'm sure everyone watching too was at one time that when they were growing up, they heard their parents saying, yes, but that's not how we do things in this house.
Yes.
So parents get to set family etiquette, and you teach your expectations.
How do you feel about, because a lot of times at family get-togethers, there's a children's table separate from the adult table. How do you feel about that?
I understand it's practical because of sheer numbers.
Right.
Yes, but it's quite a mark of maturity when you get promoted up to the big table.
Yes. I remember those moments in the family when you went from the kids' table to the adult table, and just how much pride you felt to join all the adults.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and I like what you say too. I do this with my kids. They can't stand it usually when I do it, but tell them in advance, often in the car on the way to grandma's house, let's say, or something like that. I say, remember to shake people's hands if you're meeting them new, and remember to look people in the eye, those kinds of things.
That's what I mean by the expectations. They know it for that time and place.
And teach with reasons, you say.
Yes, always the reasons why. Don't just say, sit up straight at the table. You also, because it shows self-respect and it looks like more of a high-energy person.
Yeah.
Both of your children went through an etiquette class with Marjorie. And have you noticed a big difference in
I have, especially in a more formal setting. So a family dinner, or if we're with my parents, or if we're with company or other people eating out, I've noticed.
One of the things that Molly talked about too after the section is that you say teach with example. As a parent, you have to be the example, right?
They are watching everything you do all the time. And I also feel you should not have separate company manners and everyday manners. You should only know one set of manners. Those are your company manners. You use them every day, so you never have to turn this on like, oh, the company's coming, have to do special. What did Miss Sinclair say about sitting up straight? Which way do we pass things? No, you only know one way, and it's the right way.
What is teach tactfully? What's important to you about tact?
Tact, I heard this definition from a 15-year-old student one time, and I was talking about being tactful. I didn't define my terms, and she said, so you mean tact is like the pleasant side of truth? And I thought that was brilliant, because yes, you should always tell the truth, but some people do that, and they say, hey, I'm just being honest. They're blatantly blunt, and then people's feelings get hurt.
Yeah, sometimes being honest isn't an excuse for being rude.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I like that.
Remember that one.
Pleasant side.
And you say teach with praise and encouragement. What do you want to show us about eating at the table? Because you brought brownies to show us an example
here. 3 simple tips.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and brownies are usually finger food. I agree on this, but Miss Sinclair did not want to do a full meal today.
And it's a great teaching tool for kids because they're going to want to eat it, right?
That's right.
So your first tip is say the magic words in the right tone of voice.
Because you've all heard the whiny please and the sarcastic thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear that at my house. Not all the time.
No. Or the shouted apology. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
You can say the right words, but if it's the wrong tone of voice, you don't get any credit for it. So that's the first one.
I like that.
So I'm going to suggest, first of all, when you sit down, you take the napkin and put it on your lap, open it up, And you keep it folded in half, so because if you spill anything, it goes through 2 layers of cloth before it gets onto your clothes.
Smart.
I like that. Okay,
I like
perfect,
that.
guys.
And do we tack it into our collars? No. What if Grandpa does that on Thanksgiving? Are you going to tell Grandpa he has bad manners? No. No.
No. Would you ever tell Grandpa he has bad manners?
No.
That would be Grandma's job anyway.
Exactly.
So the first thing we're going to do is pick up the knife and fork with your palm up. It's balancing on your index fingers. Then you put your thumb on the handles. Then you turn your palms down. Now you are ready to cut. And we're going to cut with the tip of the knife, keeping the fork in the left hand. The knife is your friend. You sort of push it onto the back here. And you get one, and with the tip of the knife, get that? And then bring it up to your mouth. All the food comes up to your mouth.
You can cut it. Go ahead.
Go ahead and cut it.
Get your
Just
first
take a bite.
there. Right. Yeah.
I promise you they won't do a tight shot so that everybody can, yeah. Okay.
So then it comes up to your mouth. Food comes up to the mouth. Mouth does not go down to the food, because you know who does that? Cats and dogs bring the mouth down for food.
And I love that you teach this way. This is a European style of eating,
Yes.
keeping the left,
Keeping
the fork in the left hand. And I've told you before, because you and I are friends that go to dinner a lot, that this comes in handy with a lot of formal dinners for adults too,
Yes.
when they haven't used it
It
before.
sure does. And also, and keep on eating. And take the corners
Keep
first.
on
You're right,
eating.
Joseph. That works fine. But if you are Americans and you live in America, you can eat American style if you want. So if you did, you would cut the same way, then set the knife down, and then switch the fork to the right hand. You keep switching the fork back and forth. Makes some people hypnotized, but it's only in America that this happens.
It's so funny. It's only in America that we swap back and forth the
That's
fork
right.
and everything.
It's called European style, but it's Asia, India, Australia, South America, Africa.
Right.
They use a
Well,
knife and fork.
we have, who is it in our house who always eats European style, Maddie?
Martine.
Yeah, we have a foreign exchange student
yes.
from Spain, and he always eats this way.
That's
And
right.
it's been
That's
kind
good
of cool
practice
for
to
my
be able to
kids to
watch
see.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's really neat. You say, Marjorie, I like this point, smile with your eyes. You guys don't have to keep eating unless you want to. Smile with your eyes, because you say you're more attractive and look more engaged, right?
Yes, you need sparkly eyes.
Yeah.
So it's not enough to smile. If you smile with only your mouth and not the eyes, it looks fake and phony.
Right.
See
And-
little kids having the fake smile in
photos.
No fake
We
smiles.
know when that is.
And in honor of Thanksgiving, I just wanted to say express gratitude.
Yes. Yes, generosity needs to be encouraged. So if people feel unappreciated, they stop doing nice things for you, and then you have no reason to thank them or to write thank you notes.
I like that.
Yeah. I think
And you
it's
say
wonderful.
thank them twice.
Yes, because if you opened a gift in front of them, of course you said thank you, because you learned that when you went to your first birthday party. But if you really mean it, call them the next day, send a handwritten thank you note, thank them the next time you see them, but thank them twice, especially if it took them more than 15 minutes to do this nice thing for you.
Oh,
That's
the
really
15-minute rule. I
Yeah.
like that.
I love that too. All right. You say, let's bring family back to the dinner table. Eat at least 3 times a week if you can. Here's more tips with Marjorie. You can contact her for children's etiquette classes. She's got them going on January 9th, 16th, and the 23rd. You can call to take part in those classes at 414-861-1965. Again, 414-861-1965 or MarjorieSinclair.com. You're the best.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
inviting me.
Thanks,
great
Marjorie.
to
Happy
see you.
Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. It's great. You do those at George Watt's Tea Shop where
Yes.
you started all
That's
those
right.
years ago. It's wonderful. Thank you.